So let me tell you a little story. I know for some people, they might think when they look at me, I have it all together, right? I have two great kids. I have a big house. I have a good job. Um, I have friends. It seems like I have my stuff together, but I don't. Like many of us, I don't. It's not that I'm trying to put on a mask as much as it is that I'm trying to just deal with the stress of day-to-day activities. And so there was a point where I was trying everything that I could do to be able to, manage my stress. I will say that I am in a much better place to be able to manage my stress, and that most people, when they see me, don't really know all the stress that I am carrying. And it's not because I'm hiding it as much as it is that I do a really good job of being able to regulate it and being able to regulate my stress and to regulate my nervous system so that I don't lose it. Because it can be a lot. I'm a single mom. Like I said, I have two kids and, I own my own business. And there was a point when my kids were younger that, they need you a lot. And, my kids had some medical stuff that were going on, and it just emotionally drained me because I was dealing with that in addition to dealing with work, in addition to dealing with finances, in addition to dealing with just regular life activities. And like all of us, there's not enough hours in the day. And so, my one child was really struggling with his emotions and his emotional responses because of some of the medical stuff that he was going through. And it was just a lot. And so I found myself becoming very reactive to everything that he was doing was triggering me. And I was trying to find ways to be able to cope with that. And so, I would come home and I might drink a little bit of wine after they went to bed to just be able to decompress with that. But I also found myself that I was staying up really late because the only time that I could really get things done were when they went to bed. It was the only quiet time that I really had. That's still the case. But I don't think that I was doing it as healthy then as I am now. Now I'm still making sure that I get my sleep because I understand that my nervous system needs that. And so I found myself wired and tired. And, I was trying to alleviate my stress by, drinking wine because it did help me to decompress. It helped me to shut the world out. Staying up late because it's the only time that I could get my stuff together. But then I just found myself just being triggered over and over and over again. And no matter what I did, I couldn't help but being reactive. And I was really trying to not lose it. But you know how when somebody, it just, no matter what they do, they're pushing your buttons and they're not meaning to. And it really wasn't something that should have pushed my buttons that way. And I realized after I was trying to work on trying to help my son to get to a better place where he wasn't being so triggered, that I was also being triggered the same way, and that it didn't really take very much for me to not get into a triggered state, and that there were only certain things that he would say and do, and no matter how hard I try, I was just reacting, and I really didn't know how not to. And when I went and got this training that I have been really working on the past several years on understanding the vagus nerve, I started to understand that this has to do with the, my past experiences and some of the different things that, I had experienced some past emotional trauma, just from him being sick and just some other different things. And so it was just causing me that whatever it is that he was saying in the present was triggering me from, memories from before. And I was going to this fight or flight responses. And so it was just turning to this vicious cycle. And so, I became more stressed. And so, I was more tired. And so I tried to band-aid it with like more caffeine or more wine just to try to be able to relax and just to try to function, to just get through the weekend and get through the day, or just get through to the weekend, and to get through the day. And so, but I really was pretty miserable, and my kids were miserable, and I was feeling sick and emotionally drained. And I just had this chronic fatigue that just didn't really go away. And I couldn't really help my kids to be able to deal with their emotions with what they were dealing with, because I was being triggered by every little thing that they said and did, and that I wasn't really able to stay calm myself. And so when they needed me, I couldn't be there for them, because them needing me more was just requiring more and more emotional energy that I just didn't have. And so it was just continuing that vicious cycle. And so that's when I learned, after I, took one of these courses, after, I'm a therapist, and so I work with a lot of kids that have a lot of, emotional needs. And so I had taken this additional training, and it was so eye-opening for me to really understand, wow, our nervous systems are so wired to our emotions, and our past experiences are what trigger those emotions. And they kind of go together, right? And so it made sense that this is why I was constantly responding the way that I did, no matter how hard I tried, because it was happening on an emotional memory level that I wasn't even aware of. And that I understood that I really needed to work on understanding my own nervous system. And I knew that I had been feeling certain ways, that I could feel the stress welling up inside of me, but I really didn't know what to do. And when I started to address that at a nervous system level, it made a world of difference. If you'd like to learn more about how to reset the nervous system, comment below and we will send you information.